Okay. 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. Hold on. 1 second, family. 1 second. Peace to the family coming in. Peace to all the family coming in. Peace and black power. Let me make sure everything up to date, man. Put peace in the comment section. Put something in the comment section real quick, family. Peace to all the family coming in. Okay, make sure I know it's a little delay. Peace and black power to all the family. Chop it up real late night on this Tuesday night. Chop up game on this Tuesday night, family. Chop up some game. Shout out to Nathan Tate. Shout out to King Dino. Yeah, my fault. I know I was supposed to start a little bit early. I said I was going to come on here on the Tuesday night, but shout out to all the family coming in. Shout out to all the family. I ain't going to keep y'all alone tonight. I ain't going to keep y'all alone tonight. While you're coming in here, make sure you click that like button, okay? Push that like button, family. Push that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Shout out to C's as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, okay? But yeah, man, let's get into it. Tonight's discussion, family. We're going to talk about desperate times. A lot of people are in desperate times right now. They're very desperate right now. They're doing a lot of straw man arguments right now, especially against foundational Black Americans. They're out here just lying left and right. And so we're going to talk about it, family. We're going to talk about it. First of all, I hope all the families doing well and good. What city are y'all in, family? We got 15 people in here. What city are y'all in? Put your city below. Put your city below. Put your country below. Put it in the comment section so I can see it. What city is the family in? While y'all are doing that, let me go ahead and get the screen prepared. Okay. What city are y'all in, family? Hold on 1 second. Boom. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Oakland, California. Shout out to Greensboro, North Carolina. Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to all the family from the East Coast to the West Coast. We're going to have a good discussion tonight. Now, this article went viral. Let me show y'all this. This article went viral. Let's get straight into it. Boom. Okay. This is something that went viral earlier this week, and a lot of people were trying to blame foundational Black Americans. Check this out. This was I believe, Ghanaian taxi driver. He was out there in New York.
A cab driver killed over an unpaid fare. The third arrest tonight in his beating death, and the search for the suspect still on the run. That's our top story at 11. I'm David Usher.
And I'm Natalie Pascarella. A total of 5 people accused in that violent confrontation that led to the cab driver's death. This includes 2 men who turned themselves into police, and the third suspect arrested tonight, a 15-year-old girl. News 4's Jessica Cunnington live now in Kew Gardens, Queens, waiting for the suspected attackers to face a judge. Right, Jessica?
Yeah, and just these three arrests just in the past 24 hours here. And for those 2 men who have been charged, they're expected to face a judge here at Queens Criminal Court tomorrow morning. But right now, detectives are still looking to arrest 2 teenage girls at this hour. A glimpse of justice tonight for a Bronx family and the man who was their rock.
Everything we had.
Tonight, 3 people are charged so far in connection to the beating death of cab driver Kutin Jima, the final moments of his life in this video.
We want justice to be served, and I am happy that these guys have been.
All right, now, family, I'm not going to play all the video, but that's been going viral earlier this week, and a lot of people have been trying to turn around and somehow blame foundational Black Americans for this. They've been saying, and they're so desperate at this point, they've been determined to make FBA a hate group. They've been saying, doing little things like that, talking about foundational Black Americans as a hate group, and the online hate calls this, I believe he's a Ghanaian taxi driver, to be killed by these teenagers. Okay, they've been making little straw man arguments, just desperate arguments, trying to get the government, really trying to get white mommy and white daddy. That's how they look at it, white mommy and white daddy, to classify us as a hate group, but it's not. It's a lineage. Okay, it's a lineage. Yeah, man. It's all love for Ghanaian. Yeah, they've been trying to sit up here, and they're trying to do what the Asians did. You know, the Asians, what they would do, the Asians would take random acts of crime and try to somehow pin that on foundational Black Americans. All right. So whenever somebody gets beat up, or a taxi driver gets robbed, or an Asian store owner got robbed, they'll turn around and say, well, that's part of Asian hate. They robbed them because they were Asian. Okay. Now, I'm sure it didn't matter who was driving these little criminals. Okay. Anybody who ran after them, they were going to get that work. Okay. And they should be prosecuted. They should be arrested for what they did. Nobody's taking up for them. But the whole thing of this try to spin it on foundational Black Americans somehow and turn it into, oh, damn, that's an anti-immigrant hate crime. Stop it. Okay. That's desperate stuff. They're very desperate right now, family. They are very desperate right now. So like I say, all on Twitter, you got people in there crying, whining, talking about, oh, that's from that online hate. That's bullshit. Ain't nothing from no online hate, okay? Ain't nothing from no online hate. Secondly, we don't even know if those were foundational Black American children. We don't even know if those were foundational Black American children. Now, they don't give us a hate crime, Brother Haru. You know they don't give us a hate crime when we get beat up and we get kicked in. When those Asian store owners out there in Brooklyn a couple years ago were beating up sisters, we didn't get a hate crime, an anti-Black hate crime. But again, every time something happens to someone else, they'll put that on us. They always specifically put that on foundational Black Americans, even without any evidence of it. Okay? Even without any evidence of it. Yeah, man, we got to start speaking truth to power about that. So they've been trying to do desperate things. They have a petition out, family, now trying to classify foundational Black Americans as a hate group. Okay, our lineage. Okay, and they're just so desperate at this point. They know that it even makes sense. All right, now I've heard a lot of derogatory things come from Jamaicans. You know, I played this video not too long ago. Hold on one second, family. Because a lot of people are online talking about, well, foundational Black Americans be talking bad about immigrants. Could they talk bad about immigrants? That mean y'all a hate group. Okay, well, y'all been doing this shit for years. Let's pull this up, family. And I put this up, and a lot of Haitians got mad. Hey, don't put that up. You causing division. Okay, they started with the division talk. We've been hearing this for years. Nobody's classified Asians as a hate group. Hold on, let me share my screen. Nobody's classified Asians as a hate group. I mean, not Asians, excuse me, Haitians as a hate group. Let me pull this up right here. Okay, hold on. Now, this is some Haitians. They're sitting down here. And I posted this a couple months ago. This is back in July. Now, these are some Haitians down there in Florida. And a lot of Haitians have it in their mind that somehow they run Florida for some reason. They have this big thing of they're running Florida, and Florida's controlled by the Zoes and all this type of shit. And so this is them talking greasy. Hold on, here we go.
You feel me? From Haiti with nothing and really created something, bro. Came bought a house, started a family. You feel me? My dad owned multiple fucking properties of real estate. You feel me? My mom worked her fucking ass off every fucking morning on the dot up every morning. Never no excuses, fam. She get the fuck up and get the shit and do what she had to do. But every time I hear these fucking Americans, all they do is fucking make excuses, fam. They always find excuses. Yeah. Bro, my parents came here at 30 years old. That's why when you think about it, put yourself in their shoes. Yeah. Imagine going to another country at 30 years old and restarting your whole life. Yeah. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah. And you can't speak a lick of English.
Can't even speak their language.
That's why I ain't gonna lie. Like, I hate when people be like, "Oh, you're lucky," stuff like that. Oh, I hate when people gripe and be like, "Oh, like," especially like I feel like Americans, because I mean we in America.
And when they say Americans, family, they're talking about foundational Black Americans. Let's be clear. They're not talking about white Americans. They don't have any smoke for any of these other groups. They got all the smoke for us. So when he says Americans, he's talking about foundational Black Americans, the people who fought and died for his family to come over here and eat. But let him continue.
So Americans who have lines and lines and lines and lines of family here and they complaining, I'd be like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say.
Right, bro. I ain't never met my. Y'all sat there and kept fucking up. Each generation, y'all just keep fucking up.
Yeah.
And don't figure out, okay, maybe I'm fucking up. Look, what's the right way to do this shit? And they want to point the finger at the white man, like, oh, the white man did it. No, fuck that. Figure out what the white man doing and then try to capitalize on the shit.
And I'm gonna stop it right there, family. But you get the point. You get the point, family. See, they got all the smoke for us. Now, when we have groups of Haitians sitting over here in Florida, okay, a state that was built and defended by foundational Black Americans, and they talk all type of greasy talk about how we're lazy and fuck ups. We don't classify them as a hate group. We don't classify Haitians as a hate group, okay? But the moment they pick out one foundational Black American who does something, now all of us are a hate group. Anybody from the lineage is a hate group, family. They've been doing this for years. Yeah, man, they've been doing this for years. Okay, they've been doing this for years. Shout out to Leah Rose that I sent you the video about the non-FBAs having the talk before they come here. Yeah, man, they have all type of talks before they come here. And again, this is not all. We're not talking to the rioters, the brothers and sisters who are over there in Haiti, they're rioting, the brothers and sisters who come over here with love and respect. We ain't talking about them. But there's a significant portion of the Black immigrant population that comes over here talking all type of greasy about us. All type of greasy. They got all the smoke for us. And then the moment we clap back, the moment we say something back, oh, nigga, you a hate group, nigga. Oh, nigga, you're being divisive. Oh, what do you mean? You're being divisive. Okay? They sit over here and they just do nothing but pick up on the white man's talking points, these tethers and coons. Okay, they repeat all the white man's talking points. Okay, you had these Negroes in the video talking about stop complaining about the white man, and as soon as you ask them why they haven't fixed Haiti, they start complaining about the white man. That's the shit that really be getting me. Okay, that's the shit that really be getting me. They come over here and tell them, nigga, stop complaining about that white man, nigga. Oh, nigga, stop complaining about the white man. And then as soon as you say, hey, well, Mbuka, why haven't you fixed Uganda? Oh, nigga, the white man, the CIA, nigga. You didn't know the CIA is over there, Sabbath, nigga? Oh, they start complaining. They got a white man excuses for days. But the moment we say, hey, man, we dealing with all this white supremacist racism over here. Oh, nigga, stop complaining, nigga, and get off your ass and get a job, nigga. Okay? They get real, boy, they start going in on us. Again, not talking about all immigrants. Some of them come over here on code, but there's a significant amount who don't. And those are the ones we're weeding out. And a lot of them are getting desperate now, like I say, family. So now they're taking random acts of crime and they're trying to tie it to foundational Black Americans. Oh, those niggas, see, those niggas on Twitter, mommy. They go to white mommy and white daddy. Those niggas, FBA, they're a hit group. See, look at this Uber driver who got attacked. No, nigga, that was a random act of crime. Random act of crime. They ain't had nothing to do with FBA. Them kids, I'm sure them kids who unfortunately killed that Uber driver, I'm sure they don't even know what FBA is. Okay? They're taking random acts of crime, and this is what they do all the time, family. They do this all the time. But it's not just the Black immigrants. A lot of white folks are getting desperate right now, family. A lot of white people are getting desperate right now. Let me show you this. This was interesting. I saw this the other day. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me put this on full. Oop, let me take that back. Hold on 1 second, family. Let me share my screen. Now, this came out last year, around this time last year. And a lot of white people, they've been so desperately trying to defend and trying to, get ahead of the curve. A lot of foundational Black Americans have been claiming the lineage. A lot of them been talking about not only what our ancestors built here, but what we were doing before we came here. The Olmec civilization, the Mayan civilization, the Aztec, the mounds we built up and down the Mississippi River, what we were doing out on the West Coast. A lot of us have been tapping into that Black Aboriginal presence that was already here in the Americas. Because for so long, they had this thing where, oh, well, you just don't want to be African. And we said, no, it ain't got nothing to do with not wanting to be African. There were brothers and sisters who were here before the slave trade, okay? The first Africans did not come over here on a slave ship. They were the first people over here. So we've been getting into that. So now a lot of these white folks, they've been trying to jump ahead of the curve, family. They've been trying to get ahead. They've been trying to put out little videos, kind of so-called debunking the Black Aboriginal presence. So listen to this, family. This is, hold on. This is something on YouTube, a video on YouTube called The African Origins of Olmec Civilization Debunked. Oh, they finna debunk the hell out of this. And I'm not going to play it all. I'm going to just show you some clips to give you a general idea of the shit that they debunking, okay? And some of these white talking points, okay? And they're explaining. You can see the white man's hands in there. He's explaining, okay? And the Olmec civilization, for those who don't know, was the oldest civilization here in the Americas, okay? It's the parent civilization of the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas, all those great civilizations that we come before. It's the first of really the pyramid building civilizations on a mass level. Now, you had mounds and things before that, but the Olmec civilization is the parent civilization. And they're famously known for those heads down there in Mexico, those big, gigantic black heads. But listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on.
It comes to the theory that the Olmecs were African, that Olmec civilization derived from an African origin. I tend to see that advocates of these theories really focus on the colossal heads. They look at the distinct facial features of these giant works of art, and especially the facial structure and the nose, to prove their point. But I have to ask, where do they go wrong here?
So
where do they go wrong here? Let's get into it. He's going to tell us where we go wrong. Okay.
So when people look at the Olmec heads, the first thing they notice, like you said, are those pronounced facial features, specifically the wide noses and full lips. And this is really kind of the heart of the theory for most people. The idea is that these people look like, these Olmec sculptures look like West Africans, and indeed they do have similar features. But we need to remember that Africans are not the only people who have these features.
Oh, we're not the only people who have these features.
And
okay.
It's interesting because this is something I didn't really realize until I started reading the comments on my own Olmec video, and noticed that lots of people pointed out that they look, that they look indigenous, that they look, Latino, but that they also look, like Polynesians, Southeast Asians, as well as Africans as well.
Okay, now family, everybody he just named is black. Okay, Polynesians are a mixture of Melanesian. Okay, they're a mixture of Micro and Melanesian. Melanesia means the Black Islands. Okay, that's why you go back and look at the original Polynesian people like Queen Liliuokalani and the black folks who come out of Hawaii. Let me show y'all some receipts. Okay, when you look at them, they clearly look like us. Okay, let's go to the Kingdom of Hawaii, because we can't get lost in the word salad. They'll start just throwing out a whole bunch of random stuff. Okay, they'll throw out a whole bunch of random stuff. Liliuokalani, and then try to merge it all together. All right. Let's see. Let me share my screen. These are the people that they're talking about. They keep talking about they are different people. This is Queen Liliuokalani. These are the Polynesian. These are the Aboriginal Polynesian people. This is the last queen of Hawaii. Okay, the Kingdom of Hawaii family. This is her, Queen Liliuokalani. Okay, so when he's talking about, well, there's Polynesian, all these people have black blood. Okay, the Aboriginal people are black people. Okay, he's talking about Southeast Asia. He's talking about the Negritos. All right. These are black people. Negrito means the small black people. You dig? Latino. A lot of Latinos, remember, in Mexico and other places like that, where these Olmec civilizations were, family, where these Olmec civilizations were, Mexico had the third biggest slave population in the Americas. Okay? There were black folks all up through Mexico, not to mention the Aboriginal black people who were already in Mexico. Okay? Who were already in Mexico. The oldest bones found in Mexico are those of Naya. Okay, and scholars, they've been trying to hide that for years, that she has a a black African skull. All right. They've been trying to spin that for years. Yeah, all these people are still black. All these people are still black. All these people that he named Latino, Southeast Asian. He's talking about the Negritos. He's talking about Polynesians. These are the Aboriginal Polynesians. Okay. Queen Liliuokalani. Her whole damn family was black. All right. The Hawaiian monarch. If you look at the whole last Hawaiian monarch, let me see if I can find pictures of her brother King David. Let me see King David real quick, because we got to start breaking some of this stuff down, because they'll sit up here and lie all damn day. All right, this is the last king of Hawaii, King David. This nigga, this is a brother. Okay, this is a brother. This look like some of my family members from Mississippi. Okay, this is his baby brother. This is Prince William Pitt, right here on the right. Prince William Pitt. This, he looks like Meek Mill. He look like he finna drop 16 bars. Okay, these are the Aboriginal Polynesian people. So when they talk about Polynesian, well, other people have these facial features. Yeah, other black people around the world, nigga. Okay, so don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by that. And they start talking about Latinos and Southeast Asian. We are the Aboriginal people. Okay. We are the Aboriginal people, family. And understand this. He's also said in the other indigenous people, there is no indigenous face of indigenous. And when we're talking about overall indigenous, you're talking about us. We're the first people, black people are. So yeah, we know it's some indigenous people that look like that and they black. Okay, that's why the Olmecs look like that. They were black. But I'm gonna let him continue. Because he's gonna keep splaining, you know. He's gonna keep splaining. Hold on, let me share my screen. It gets funnier, family. Just listen to the bullshit. Okay, listen to the bullshit. Here we go. Hold on.
And what I quickly realized is that when we look at the Olmec, what we see in them says more about us than it says about the Olmec themselves. You know, when we look at those features, our brain kind of just reaches for the nearest look-alike. And if you grew up in the United States, for example, the closest look-alike is probably an African-American or somebody of African descent. The fact is, if you go to Veracruz and you look at the indigenous people there, many of them have those same features. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. And there's actually a scientific reason for this. The shape of the nose is primarily a function of climatic factors, such as like the heat, the humidity of the environment that you're in. One of the functions of the nose is to moisten the air before it goes into the lungs. So if you're in an area that's very dry, such as like deserts, your nose will be longer and thinner so that it can moisten that air a lot better. If you live in like a tropical, humid environment, it'll tend to be, shorter and wider because your body doesn't need as much help to moisten that air as you inhale. And so that's why we see, these features in so many areas.
All right, now, family, notice how he said because the hot environment. Okay, the environment's hot, dude. That's why the Olmecs looked that way on the statue, dude. They weren't Negroes. The environment was hot. So therefore, because the environment was hot, that made their nose fat and it made their lips fat. Okay, well, wouldn't it make their skin darker too, nigga? Like black people? Notice he left out the skin. Hot environments tend to make the people of that region blacker. It makes them black. Notice he left that out. See how they do, family? This nigga talked about how the heat made these niggas have fat ass noses and they had fat ass lips because it was so hot outside down there in Mexico. Well, it also made their skin black, right? According to your logic. So they would be black people, right? Notice he just left out the skin. So I guess the sun can make your nose fat and your lips fat, but it ain't gonna do nothing to your skin. All right. It ain't gonna do nothing to your skin, player. Nothing to your skin. But I'll let him continue.
Is that it's an adaptation to the environment.
Lord.
I mean, like I said earlier, physical traits, phenotype, these change over time. As a result of the environment, as a result of mixing with other populations. And so.
Okay, is it echoing? Hold on, family. Am I echoing?
it really shouldn't be a surprise that the faces look like that. Oh, and one last thing I'll call attention to, this is something that I see brought up a lot, is people will point.
Is that better, family? Okay, somebody's saying yes. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure I mute. I'll make sure I mute myself while he's talking. Hold on. Now listen to this part. This is where it really gets good. This is where he really starts playing. Hold on.
Out that the Olmec heads have braids on the back of their head. In fact, there's only one Olmec head that has braids on the back, and that's Olmec head 2 at the site of Tres Zapotes. Now, many people who endorse this theory will assert that those are cornrows or African braids or like Ethiopian hairstyles. I've seen that brought up as well. Again, this is just speculation. I mean, it's completely possible that the Olmec wore their hair like that as well. I've also seen some people speculate that it's not even braids, it's part of a feather headdress.
Oh Lord, family, you heard it right. So the braids that's on the back of the Olmec head, those are not braids. According to the white man. No, these are not braids. Those were feathers, nigga. Those were feathers, and some of the Mongoloid natives, they wear their hair braided like that too. Where at? Where are the Mongoloid Asian Native Americans walking around here with pale skin, with their hair corn rolled up? Where they at? I ain't never seen no Mongoloid native wear their hair with no damn cornrows that have fat lips and fat noses. The white man. And then he said, well, that nigga had to, well, yeah, that's unrealistic. Well, some people say they're feathers. That's not even, so we got feather braids out here. Desperate. We are in desperate times, family. Desperate times. So y'all be on the lookout of the light-skinned Mongoloid natives who have big noses and big lips, and they walking around here with cornrows in their head. Where have we ever seen that at? They don't even have that hair texture to have cornrows. The Mongoloid natives have that long, straight hair. They ain't got no damn cornrow type hair. They don't have that texture. They don't have that 4C hair like we have. Okay? They can't do that. That's why when you see white folks, they have that white folks hair. It looks methed out when they try to do any type of braids or any shit like that. All right? But they're feathers now. Okay? So I don't want y'all to be confused. So y'all be on the lookout for some of the Mongoloids with big noses, big lips, and cornrows in their head. But they're not black people, though. Okay, they're not black people. Well, let's continue. Hold on.
The idea that these have to be African, that they can only be African, that's just speculation. They could just as easily be indigenous. Now, the biggest issue with this argument that the Olmec
Hold on, let me skip forward real quick. Oh, damn, I didn't go back to the screen. Let me skip forward real quick, family, because it's a lot of just babble. Hold on, let me skip forward because there was a couple more points I want to hear. Now, he's going to start talking about Ivan Van Sertima. Now, Ivan Van Sertima was one of our master teachers down here down here in America. Brother was from Guyana, I believe he was. He was a non-foundational Black American, but he was riding and he was on code. So he's going to start talking about the book They Came Before Columbus. Okay, They Came Before Columbus. And listen to some of the things that he says about the evidence that's in the book, because the great ancestor Ivan Van Sertima was laying out the evidence. So listen.
Theory, the way that argument goes is that back in the 70s or 80s, I forget exactly when, there was a mummy that was analyzed by scientists that was found to have cocaine and nicotine on it in its tissue. And so, the conclusion goes that cocaine and nicotine, come from coca and tobacco. Those aren't old world plants, they're new world plants. They're only native to the Americas. Therefore, somebody must have gone over to the Americas, gotten some tobacco and coca, and brought it back to Egypt where, presumably a pharaoh threw a great party, and then lived out a good life, died, and, the traces are there and prove it. if you actually go and look at the study of that, that conclusion is very problematic because, for one thing, it's only been found on one mummy. This isn't a pattern that we see across several mummies. It's just one. So already that's a red flag. It's an anomaly. Second, the history of that mummy is problematic because that mummy was taken out of Egypt, I think in like the 1910s. It was brought into a private collection, not in like a museum or anything, a private collection where it stayed there for decades. And it wasn't removed from that collection and analyzed, until the, the 70s or 80s. It was there for decades. During that time, what most likely happened is that it got contaminated with cocaine and nicotine. You got to remember, back in the 20s, like cocaine is very easy to get. This is probably the days that they're still putting it in Coca-Cola. Smoking was very big back then as well. It's really not a stretch of the imagination to say that that mummy was probably contaminated with those materials. If this was a mummy that was found in a solid archaeological context and analyzed right away, that'd be something different.
So you heard it, family. Now, if you don't know, they found evidence of cocaine, some of the cocaine plants, okay, that are indigenous here to America in the mummies of some of the Kemite pharaohs, okay? And according to him, though, this wasn't because they actually traveled to America. This was because it was in a private collection and niggas were doing cocaine, okay? And some of the cocaine fell on the mummy, and that's why they found the cocaine in the mummy's stomach. Desperate. They're so desperate at this point, family. You heard it right. Okay, it wasn't that these pharaohs actually visited the America. We have other evidence of pharaohs in the America, family. You have the Davenport steels or the Davenport plates that are over here in the Americas. You have evidence found of hieroglyphics and hieroglyphic symbols in the mounds up and down the Mississippi River. But no. That's not important. What's important is this cocaine that was found in this mummy's stomach got there because somebody was doing a line back in the 1910s and the cocaine fell in the mummy's stomach. And then in the 70s and 80s, they found the cocaine. Okay, that's what he wants us to believe, family. That's what he wants us to believe, family. But he gets deeper because then he starts to talk about, well, hey, man, you have a lot of plants over here that are indigenous to Africa, hybrid cotton seeds that Ivan Van Sertima breaks down. How did these hybrid cotton seeds get to the Americas? How did certain plants that are indigenous to bottle gourd and other plants like that, how did they get in the Americas? Okay, if it wasn't people traveling back and forth. So let's let them continue.
That's not what we're dealing with here. Another argument that often comes up a lot online, and actually this is the, I'll be totally transparent. This is actually the argument that intrigues me the most. And that's the presence of old world crops in the new world. And actually, Dr. Van Sertima brings up a lot of these arguments as well. Basically, he points out that, there are, certain crops that have been, that are in the Americas that originally come from Africa or some other part of the old world. Like a good example is the bottle gourd, or as some people call it, the calabash. That plant is originally native to Africa. And the bottle gourd is a very useful fruit because, you can use it as a container once it dries out. You can use it as a food source as well. So it's very commonly used in Africa. It ends up in pre-Columbian America. It's used a lot there as well. And the problem with that theory, though, is that gourds are known to be, very water resistant. You can literally have a gourd floating in water for over a year. And, if it washes up on shore, those seeds will still germinate. People have done experiments with that and shown that it's possible. So,
Lord, family. Okay, so the bottle gourd, according to this white man, the bottle gourd that is indigenous to Africa, indigenous plant in Africa, it got over here because miraculously it just fell in the sea. It fell in the sea, floated all the way to the Americas, and then planted itself. Not because people brought it. I mean, that's just foolish to think black people will bring it over here. Okay. According to this white man, the bottle gourd fell in the sea. Okay. It said, shit, I'm trying to go to America. It rode the currents all the way to America and it planted itself in America. All right, family.
Most likely, a gourd, some gourds, washed out to sea, washed out on the shores of the Americas, and just took off from there. Another element of this theory that you sometimes come up with is cotton. I'm not going to go into the biology of this because I'll admit I'm not a biology major or anything, but basically there's genetic evidence that some of the cotton that's native to North America is at some point was crossbred with cotton from Africa, that those species hybridized. Okay. Now, people like Dr. Van Sertima, will argue that this is evidence that, not just hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, like 4,000 years ago, that people from, West Africa were making their way to the Americas. They took cotton with them, and it got mixed up with cotton that was native to the Americas. Now, the dates for cotton in Mesoamerica go back very far. They go back to 3,500 BCE, which is way before the 4,000 years ago date. That'd be 2000 BC. It goes way before his dates. And that 3,500 BCE date is a date for fully domesticated cotton, which, not like semi-domesticated or wild, it's fully domesticated by that point. So it's probably even further back than that when that cotton is first getting used. And then secondly, it's still possible for cotton to, make a crossing like the bottle gourd across the ocean. Now, cotton seeds are not like gourds. If you soak those in water for an extended period of time, they won't germinate. They'll basically get waterlogged and be useless. However, that being said, I mean, it's possible that they could have, washed out on some natural raft as part of a large tree or something. It's also possible that animals can carry them, specifically like birds that'll eat the seeds, migrate, and then after they've, digested the seeds, deposit them on the ground somewhere.
Lord, family, Lord. So the cotton seeds, the hybrid cotton seeds that are mixed with African cotton, you heard it first, family. You heard it first. These cotton seeds, nobody brought them over here. Black folks didn't bring them over here on their journeys over here. No. That's not what happened. That's not what happened, family. The cotton hopped on a tree. The cotton hopped on a raft and floated over across the Atlantic Ocean and then planted itself, nigga. Okay? Or possibly a bird who was eating cotton. And by the way, I've researched birds don't eat cotton, nigga. I don't know where that nigga's getting that from. Birds don't eat cotton. I've never heard of a bird eating cotton. Okay? A bird ate some cotton and then flew to the Americas, had a shit, and then that's how the cotton got over here. Okay? That's how it developed a hybrid cotton between the American cotton and African. Anything but to say that black people traveled to the Americas. They'll say anything. This is the definition, family. This is why I talked about in my book series, and this is why you need to get Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1. Okay? I talked about I'm white and I say so. That's all he's doing. I'm white and I say so. So now, according to white people, cotton can hop on trees, and the cotton created a raft and flowed over here to the Americas because, like he said, if cotton gets wet, it's not going to grow anymore. It's dead. Okay? But the cotton hopped on a raft. It made itself a raft, and it said, I wanted to go to the Americas. Then it hopped on a raft, came over here, planted itself. Anything but to say black people came to the Americas with these items, with the bottle gourd, with this hybrid cotton from Africa. Anything. This is the definition of I'm white and I say so. I'm white and I say so. They'll make up and say anything, family. The birds were eating cotton and then they flew across the land and had a shit, and then that's how the cotton became a hybrid between American, anything, family. But you know, and I'm gonna show you one more point because, like I say, it's just I'm white and I say so the whole damn time. But and this is another one I wanted to touch on because they'll tell this lie all the time. Hold on, let me go to right here. Okay, 1 second. Let me share my screen again. Oh, let me mute my.
Mankind, we believe that it's a natural process. So a lot of those arguments are also deceiving in that regard as well. And while we're on the subject of Dr. Van Sertima, one last thing that I'll mention that he and some other scholars do is that the sources they use are overwhelmingly European. Very few of them are indigenous. He likes to.
Let me touch on that, family, because that's another thing white people like to say. Now, any other damn time, they bragging about how these white people were so intelligent, they're so smart. Okay. All right. They're bragging about how they were so intelligent, so smart. And then when we start using white people's words against them, well, show me an indigenous source. How the hell are we going to show you an indigenous source when the indigenous people then classify themselves within their own race, a concept of race? Okay. How are we going to show you an indigenous source when all the white people wiped out the indigenous, damn near all the indigenous people, and reclassifying them? White indigenous people weren't writing in English as well. A lot of the old texts in the languages haven't been deciphered yet. And they know this. This is a straw man argument, but I'll let him continue. Okay, so they love to play this game. Now, any other time when you show them white sources, that's all they do is show you white sources. Okay, that's all they do is show you white sources. But when we take those white sources and use it to prove our point, then they'll say, no. Those are not good enough. Those are not good enough. All of a sudden. But I'll let them continue. Let me mute myself.
To quote a lot of contact period accounts where certain indigenous people are described as black. Now, as I described earlier, like physical traits, phenotype, I mean, they're not limited to just one specific people. Many people can have dark skin. I mean, you look at Polynesians, Aboriginals in Australia, people in India, they can have very, very dark skin. And there are Native Americans also that also have very, very dark skin.
Yeah, they're called black people. They're called black people, those ones with very, very dark skin. They'll say anything but black. Anything but black. Anything but they were African people. They had very, very dark skin. Okay? They had braids in the back of their head. Okay? They had all these things, but they weren't black. So these were white-skinned niggas. Okay? These were wiggers. All right? In the Americas, you had wiggers. You didn't have niggas. You had wiggers. Okay? These are white niggas. But I'll let them.
And so, when these conquistadors or explorers, arrive in the Americas and they see dark-skinned indigenous people, they just describe them, as black or, negro, as a shorthand, not as some kind of like scientific or anthropological designation. They're just describing them the way that they're, used to describing people of dark skin. So
I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it right there, family. That's cap. That is cap. That is a complete lie. Okay. They love telling the lie that when white people came here, they called everybody black. No, they did not, family. No, they did not. All right. They had other names for the Mongoloid native. They would call him the red man. They would say they're olive complexion. These people are tawny. They're copper colored. They were very specific about how these people look. They would say they have long, straight hair. Okay. They would say they're tannish. They would call them yellow skin. They would even call them orange. Okay. They had multiple, they would call them chestnut color. They had other names other than black. That's a complete lie. And they love telling that lie. That lie that, oh shit, all the white people, every time they got here, they were calling people niggas. No, they weren't. Okay. It's only certain situations when they would see black people, they would say, hey man, that's an Ethiopian. Balboa said that. Okay. Theodore Johnson, he traveled to the Americas. He traveled, after the Mexican Revolution, after the American-Mexican War, he traveled over to California. He called the people that he saw, they're Africans. Hey, man, these are African people. These Native Americans, they're African. Theodore Johnson, look it up, okay? There's another book I want y'all to get. This book is called, and I don't think you can find this book anymore, family, but you can have the archive. It's at archive.org. Hold on, let me share my screen, because we got to pull up some receipts, family, because they'll sit up here and lie all damn day. There's the book called The Native Races of the Pacific State of North America. Right here, The Native Races of the Pacific State of North America. This book, oh, hold on, let me put it on the big screen. All right. This book right here breaks down a lot of the early explorers who went out on the West Coast, family. Okay, you can look this up right now. It's online for free. You can't find the hard copy anymore, but you can look this up. The Native Races of the Pacific State of North America. You dig? Written by Bancroft, okay? Hubert Howell Bancroft. He wrote this book like in the 1800s, I believe it was. In the late 1800s, early 1900s. But in this book, he talks about all the white explorers, family, that went to California and talk about they saw nothing but black people. Black people. But he also talks about how these same explorers, or some of the same explorers, went to other states. They went to Oregon. They went to Nevada. They went to other places, and they described different people. They didn't call everybody black. They didn't call everybody black, family. These people understood that everybody's not a nigga. They understood that, family. And they were very specific about their language. Like you had people like Giovanni Veracino. Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second, family. Okay. Oh, man, I just had it up. Hold on 1 second. Damn it, hold on. Because you had other explorers who said these types of things, family. And all of this is documented in my book, 19 White Men Who Admitted There Were Indigenous Black People in Americas. I can't find the quote right here, but it's in my book as well. Giovanni Veracino, he went to the South Carolina, North Carolina coast, and he said he saw Ethiopians. He said these people are black, not unlike the Ethiopians. You had Theodore Johnson, who went to California. You had people who were painters, family. You had people like Louis Corris. Let me show you some of the paintings by Louis Corris, because Louis Corris backed up everything that these people said. Louis Corris went out to California in the early 1800s. He went out there and he painted some of the native people. Okay, let me share my screen. He painted some of the native people, and these are the people that he painted, family. These are the people that he painted right here. Okay, these are the people that he painted. These is what the people he called the Native Californians. All right, natives of California. This is them. The natives of California. Black than a motherfucker. Black as hell. These are the people he painted. All right, these were the Aboriginal people of California. They didn't sit up here. Now, Louis Corris drew other people. Louis Corris drew light-complected people as well. He drew people of the Mongoloid persuasion as well. Okay? But when he got out to California, these are the people he drew. These are the people he drew, family. Here's another painting by Louis Corris. These are some of the natives of California, local inhabitants. Okay? Painting from Louis Corris by Louis Corris of the local inhabitants when the Spanish arrived. Black folks. All right? Don't let them play this whole game of they called everybody black. Okay? Not only do we have literary evidence that were black people here, we have paintings as well. We have drawings and paintings as well. We have that evidence that they were here. Not to mention the big ass Olmec heads that they kept down there. And by the way, he was trying to say, this is another thing, because he was trying to say that the Olmec heads, he was talking about, well, it was just one with braids, family. You have a whole Olmec statue called El Negro. A lot of people don't know this. This is the Olmec statue. It's still down there to this day. The shit is called El Negro. Okay? So when they try to run this whole thing, and you can see the Olmec statue has a goddamn fro. He has an afro. So when they try to run this whole con game that, hey, man, well, those weren't really braids. Well, is this not really an afro, nigga? I'm going to let the family decide. Is this not a damn afro? The statue is called El Negro. The Mexican explorer who discovered the Olmec head called it El Negro. He said, nigga, there ain't no doubt about it. This is a Negro. Got a damn afro. They don't show you that one. They'll just show you the ones with the plaits and then try to do some explaining about it. This is why they stopped digging, family. They just stopped digging because the deeper they dig, the blacker the bodies get. Okay? The deeper they dig, the blacker the bodies get. And I can go on for days with receipts. Okay? I can go on for days with receipts, family. But don't let them run that con game on you of they don't know what a Negro is now. Of, well, when the white folks came here, hey, man, when the white people came here, they called everybody black. No, they didn't. That's just a lie. They had other names for other different people, complexions of natives. Like I said, they had olive. They had chestnut. They had red, okay? And they would say that in their works. But certain times, like Antonio Pipetti, who went down to Brazil in the early 1500s, he literally said these are black men. Looked like they came out of the infernos of hell. That's how black they were. And he said they made boats out of one tree trunk, a whole tree trunk. And what's ironic, if you look at early West African accounts from Europeans, they would talk about how the Africans over there made boats out of one tree trunk. Same damn people that's in Brazil. Okay? Yeah, Tony, they had all type of stuff, family. They had all type of names for other complexions of people. Like I said, Laurel, Purdue. There's a great book called Africans and Native Americans by Jack D. Forbes. Okay, let me pull that up. And I know we visual people. A lot of people got to see the visions of it. But I want y'all to get that Native Races of the Pacific State of North America. And I want you to read that. Especially read the California accounts. Read the California's accounts. Let me show that one more time for the family. Hold on. Because I want us to start getting these receipts. Because this is important for the babies. We ain't out here trying to prove nothing to white folks. But we out here for the babies. Okay, the babies need to know this. So when you're showing your children receipts of what you're talking about, you can show them. This is a book you need. Keep this in your archives. Okay, The Native Races of the Pacific State of North America. Pencroft Hubert Hill. Okay, by H.H. Pencroft. H.H. Pencroft, all right? You also need, let me go back to myself. This is another book because you also had white men who were very esteemed during their time. Like Harold Gladwin. Harold Gladwin wrote a book called Man Out of Asia. Okay? Man Out of Asia. This kind of hard to find this book now. If you can find it, go ahead and purchase it. All right? I've had this book a long time now. But Man Out of Asia. This book is out of print. So they don't make this book anymore. All right? This is one of the original copies. Man Out of Asia, Harold Gladwin. He talks about the early migrations of black people to this country. White guy. All right. He was very specific about it. He said the first were the Negritos. Baba Kaba talks about this. The first were the Negritos. Okay. Then you had the Austronesians. These are our brothers and sisters that came out of Australia. The Austronesian. Then you had the Polynesian. This is why, if you look at, hold on, I know I'm sharing a lot of screens, family. Hopefully y'all can keep up. But let me type this in. This is why when you look at the native Hawaiians, they look similar to the Aboriginal people of California because they came from that West Coast. They came from the Pacific, the Aboriginal people of California. That's why they had long, straight hair. Hold on. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me share my screen. So when you look at the native people of California, you see that long straight hair. These are black folks, but they have long straight hair. And this goes to show you, because oftentimes they'll sit up here and say, well, black folks don't have long straight hair. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have the most genetic combinations on the face of the earth because we're the aboriginal. Okay. You don't get straight hair without black people. All right. You don't get blue eyes. The first blue-eyed people were in Africa as well. We have the genetic box. We are the dominant gene. Out of the dominant comes all the recessives. The recessives don't produce dominance. You don't have such thing as two white people coming together and making a black child, but you have two black people who can come together and create a white person, called an albino, a white-skinned person who will be whiter than the whitest person. That's something only we can create. Ain't no such thing as two white people coming together creating a dark-skinned, black-ass baby, okay? If they do, one of them lying. One of them been cheating. One of them been cheating. The wife been cheating. If she produces a black child, she's been cheating. But you can have two black people who come together and create an albino child, which is a white child. That's just the genetic box that we hold. But if you look at, hold on, if you look at the natives of California, and this was done again by Louis Corus, he went out to California. Excuse me. He went out to Hawaii. Let me type this in real quick. And these are some of the people he drew in Hawaii. I got too many screens up. Okay, these are some of the people he drew in Hawaii. You see, they got the same hair texture. Same hair texture. Because these were black people who came in from the Pacific. These were Melanesians, as we call them. The people who came from the Black Islands. All right? The people who came from the Black Islands. These were island hoppers. Okay? Remember, Micronesia means small islands. Melanesia means the Black Islands. Polynesia means many islands or several islands. All right? So these were people who had already developed an island hopping skill set. They were masters of the sea. So all they did was island hop to California, which is named after a black woman, Queen Khalifa. The same people, family. These are the same people. Make sure y'all click that like button, family. Make sure y'all click that like button and spread this, because we got to start straightening it out. This is why they're nervous. We're digging into that. This is why they try to debunk a lot of these old white folks who spoke truth. All right. This is why I want y'all to go get Man Out of Asia, Harold Gladwin. This is also because everything I'm talking about, you got to go get Louis Corus's book, Voyage of the Pacifica. Voyage of the Pacifica. Now, this is in French. It's in French, but I want you to get it for the images. This is also a book that is out of print. So if you can find it, go get it now, because they're going to start cleaning the internet of these photos. So what I do is I get the hard copies, and he goes deeper. These are the people he drew in California. You see how black they are? They don't look like the Mongoloid natives. These are foundational black Americans, or people who will become foundational black Americans. This is Louis Corus. This is why you get the hard copy. Show y'all a few more. Okay. These black women that he drew, that he called the natives of California. These are the people that Theodore Johnson and George, the other explorers, talked about. Okay. These are the black people. You need the hard copy. See, they can wipe all this off the internet, but Brother Chase is still going to have it. Brother Chase is still going to have it. And I want to show you this as well. Hold on. Because they'll sit up here and play games. They'll sit up here and play games. Let me see. All right. So these are some of the people of, damn, what was this? I forgot what this word, but the image will work. These are some of the people that he drew. So he didn't draw everybody as black people. These are some of the people of Mongoloid persuasion, okay, that he talked about in the northwest parts of the United States up into Canada. These are some of the Mongoloid natives that he drew. He didn't draw everybody as black people. See, they love to tell that lie. They love to tell the lie. Oh, they made everybody black. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. These are some of the Mongoloid people that you're used to seeing. This is Louis Cours, one of the greatest French painters in history. A lot of his works are in museums over there in France, but they only give you specific works. They don't give you a lot of the black Aboriginal presence. So these are things we need. These are things we need. You said there's an old picture depicting it. Yeah, dude, Native Americans, dude. Baba Kaba just came. Y'all need to go check out Baba Kaba's work. He just came from Hawaii, dude. Hawaii was filled with Aboriginal black people. The black people, the Mongoloid people that you see now in Hawaii, these are $5 Hawaiians. Like we have $5 Indians, they have $5 Hawaiians. These are people who are mixtures of Asian and white colonizers. Because remember, the kingdom of Hawaii, Queen Liliuokalani, her kingdom was overthrown at the end of the 1800s. And that's for United States colonization. The United States overthrew the kingdom of Hawaii, and that's when they started to kill all the indigenous Hawaiians. Okay? In the 40s, the 30s and 40s, they had an influx of Asian immigrants who came there to work the rice fields. Okay, so now what you have in Hawaii is you have a lot of people of white and Asian descent acting like they're the Aboriginal Hawaiian people. Okay? Acting like they're the Aboriginal Hawaiian people, and they're not. And I actually have, I don't have it. It's a book called And Then There Were None. Let me see to pull it up because I don't want to, I'll be walking around the spot trying to find it. This is a great book. Hold on. And Then There Were None. It's a very small book, but I love it for the cover. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Let me share my screen. These are the Aboriginal Hawaiian people. And in this book, I have the book, but like I say, I got to find it. It's in the house somewhere, but. And Then There Were None. Look at that cover. That's one of the last Aboriginal children of Hawaii. And in this book, they talk about how the disease and plague wiped out the Aboriginal people. All right. She is Aboriginal Hawaiian. That's how they used to look. These $5 Hawaiians that you see today, they look Asian. They look like they straight out of China. And they be sitting around here growing flowers around their neck and talking about surf's up, dude. And people be talking about their Aboriginal Hawaiians. That's why every time I start posting about the Aboriginal Black Hawaiians on my page, a lot of $5 Hawaiians get offended. They come on my page out of nowhere. Yeah, man. They come on my page out of nowhere. So that's the thing, family. This is why we have to start documenting this stuff. This is why I'm big on writing books and writing this stuff down. Because if we don't write it down, it's going to be lost. I'm not out here trying to re-educate a 40-year-old, 50-year-old coon. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not doing this for white folks. I'm trying to do it for the babies. See, we got to teach our babies this early so we don't have to repair broken men and broken women later on in life. We can get them as a baby. We can get them as a baby, family. They got to know this history. We got to start documenting it and writing it down, not depending on the internet to go and search for it. Okay? Documenting it and writing it down. Okay? Documenting and writing it down. They do this everywhere. The Aboriginal people everywhere were black people. The Americas, Australia, Africa, of course, Europe, the Grimaldis, Asia, the Negritos, the small black people, whether you're talking about the Ata of the Philippines or the Anu of Japan, you dig? The Andaman Islanders off the coast of India, the Jawa in India, all these were black people. All of them were. And they try to reclassify all of them. And now a lot of white people play this game. Let me show you this. A lot of white people play the game. Let me show you this. This was funny. I was looking at this out there in Australia because the Aboriginal people of Australia are very black complected people. They call them black fellas, and they actually identify as black. Salute to the Aboriginal brothers and sisters of Australia. They actually identify as black. They call themselves black fellas. Okay. And they always hollering black power. Salute to them. They actually had, family, a lot of people don't know, out in Australia, they had a sector of the Black Panther Party out there in Australia. They had the Black Panther Party out there in Australia in the 60s. Salute to the Aboriginal brothers and sisters of Australia. But let me show you this. A lot of white people out there in Australia now trying to pass themselves off as Aboriginal. Let me show you this. This shit is funny. And they've turned off the comment section, which is hilarious. Let me show you this. Listen to this.
I'm fair skinned, Rangar as well, red hair, got blue eyes, but I identify as an Aboriginal person.
The representation of Aboriginal people is always dark skin. You know, it's always that tourism. Come to Northern Territory. This is the real Aboriginal person. And anyone else, you're not.
I remember in primary school, the kids just saying, well, you're only like a quarter, you're not full Aboriginal, where you're constantly having to justify your identity.
The denial of Aboriginality. It is pure and simple racism.
My name's Michael James. I'm from Jervis Bay area. I'm 17 years old and my mob is Yuin. My great grandmother was full Indigenous. My dad and also my pop, they married Irish women with red hair. So that's where the mixture comes in. The types of things that people have asked me when I've told them that I'm Indigenous, nah, you can't be Indigenous, you're not black enough. What percent are you Indigenous? Surely you can't be getting the benefits. You can't be a Jaffa. And because Jaffas are the little lollies that are red, and when you suck on them, they go white, but then when you bite, they're black on the inside.
You know, the first message, you get, not even, hey, how you going? It's like, wow, are you sure you're Aboriginal? You're too pretty to be Aboriginal.
The text read, you don't really look Aboriginal. Are you full? Like, that was just the first, message that he sent me. Like, who gives a fuck how much Aboriginal blood I have in my body? Like you wouldn't ask that question to any other ethnicity.
That is really fucked up.
Yeah. It makes me angry. Yeah. And frustrated that people can't see that what they've actually asked and said is disrespectful. Like, they don't see it as a bad thing.
What do you want, Gary Bolognese? When Georgia has brought a friend home, in general, anything Aboriginal, they feel uncomfortable. It's their own guilt. They think that they're being attacked.
It's almost like they think, oh, her Aboriginality, it's gone away. But then it's almost like when I bring them back home, that they go, oh, she really strongly identifies it.
All right, get the fuck out of here. Karen, if you don't sit your ass down, you know damn well you ain't no damn Aboriginal. Okay? This is what white people... I just wanted to show y'all that because they do this everywhere. It ain't just here in the Americas. We be sitting over here thinking, oh, well, they just always doing it in the Americas. Just like we got $5 Indians, they got $5 Aboriginals over there in Australia too. White folks, dude, I'm Aboriginal, dude. I'm just like you, bro. Stop it, Connor. You're not. This nigga sitting up here. This nigga sitting up here with a head full of red hair. White than a motherfucker talking about he's Aboriginal. My great grandma, dude. The only reason why I look like this because she married an Irish woman, dude. Stop it. Stop it. Talking about their grandpa married an Irish woman. Look of the Irish, dude. That's the only reason, bro. I'm Aboriginal, dude. Stop it. No, you're not. No, you're not, dude. We have the dominant gene. Even if your grandpa did have an Irish wife, that child would still be black than a motherfucker. Whiteness doesn't overtake blackness. Blackness overtakes whiteness. That's how it works. We have the dominant genes. Okay, and then she's sitting up here, dude. Oh, fuck. People don't know how disrespectful it is when I say I'm Aboriginal, because people, they be around there in Australia talking about they're Aboriginal, and niggas be laughing at their ass. Like, if you don't get the fuck out of here. Okay, people be laughing at their ass, and it really traumatizes them. Fuck, dude. People don't know. I'm just not black enough. Reverse racism goes both ways, bro. Oh, it goes both ways, dude. Stop it. Stop it. See what they're trying to do, family. They're trying to finesse them with their way into a check. That's all they're trying to do. Same thing with the white folks here. Okay. Same thing with the white folks here. They try to finesse their way into an aboriginal or an indigenous check. And then they love to talk like, hey, well, there's not really any money in being aboriginal. Do you get all type of set asides for being indigenous? And they know that. That's why they go out their way to keep us from saying that we're the aboriginal people of America. Because they know, listen, if we start breaking off some of these foundational Black Americans with checks, shit. If they start breaking us off with some of this paper, if you start breaking off the true indigenous people around the world with some of that paper, set asides, tax breaks, dude, the Native Americans over here have their own police force. They have their own colleges. Dude, they have their own rules. When niggas be talking about sovereign citizenship, they literally have a sovereign land. They can do whatever the hell they want to on their land. Okay? They have their own commissions. They set aside anything they want. They know that. So that's what they're trying to get into. It ain't really about the check. It's about being able to do whatever the hell you want to do. They get to have all them casinos and shit. So down there sitting around here trying to pass themselves off like they're aboriginal. Hilarious. And the dude in the video, hold on, let me see if I can find. The dude in the video called him out because I watched the full video earlier. The dude, it was a white lawyer over there. He was like, listen, man, this shit is about a check. And they were trying to explain their way out of it. Hold on. This shit is hilarious. Hold on.
Landmark case, the outspoken newspaper columnist Andrew Bolt has been found to have breached the Racial Discrimination Act.
Found that two opinion pieces Bolt wrote in the Herald Sun in 2009 that fair-skinned Aboriginal people claimed Aboriginality so they could access benefits.
If we look at policies and past and present policies and the laws that prevented Aboriginal people from progressing and participating in society, we would need all of these initiatives. It makes me upset because my grandmother was denied an education.
People, get this misconception that Aboriginal people, get all these special benefits, that we get free cars all the time and that sort of thing.
All right, so they're trying to explain their way out of it, family. Desperate. This is why the title of the video is We're in Desperate Times, family, but that's a good thing for us. See, everybody's desperate around the world, okay? People, a lot of these other groups are desperate over here because Foundational Black Americans, we're telling the truth. We're speaking truth to power. And people feel a particular type of way, so now all the white people are coming out here. See, we're coming for all the miseducation. We're coming for all the dusty and the desperate. We're coming for all, and we're coming for, hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. Down there where I'm from. Okay, we're coming for these niggas right here. Okay, this is the goddamn chief of the Choctaw. All right. These are the niggas who be over here telling us, you just don't want to be African. Okay, these the people who be keeping us from getting that indigenous check. Ain't this some shit? Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay. These are the people who say that they're Aboriginal. See, we're coming for all these niggas. Oh, we're coming for all of them. This is the chief of the Choctaw down there in, I believe, Mississippi. White dude, straight up and down. Oh, damn. I was supposed to be. Hold on. Let me exit out. Let me show you. So, because I know it's kind of small. Well, let me add. I can add the stream. Hold on. Okay, this is the head of the Choctaw. All right, white dude. This is the dude who be telling you your name ain't on the Dawes roll. Ain't that some shit? Full-blooded white dudes who got blue eyes and everything. Okay, this is the chief of the Choctaw. This is the nigga telling you you ain't got no native blood. $5 like a motherfucker. Okay, his tribal name needs to be Chief $5. Chief $5 Indian. Okay. All right. See, we coming for all these folks. These folks been sitting up here lying like they're native forever. I'm native, dude. Dude, my great grandma, Aunt Paula, Paula was a native. She was Cherokee, dude. Stop it. These are $5 Indians. These are people who in the 1800s, their great-great-grandfather signed the Dawes Rolls. He paid $5 to sign his name on the Dawes Rolls. Okay? This was a whole finesse. And they do this everywhere. That's why I showed you that Aboriginal Australian video. White people do this everywhere they go. They sit up here and try to act like they're the Aboriginal. After they done killed off or reclassified all the Aboriginal people, then they sit up there and try to act like they're the Aboriginal ones. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, family. Yeah, Chief Warhorse. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So shout out to Chief Warhorse. Yeah, sister down in Louisiana, she be speaking a lot of truth to power, man. Yeah, so it's an Aboriginal presence. We also have an African presence, okay? I'm African as well. We have an intermixture. That's what a foundational Black American is. We have an intermixture of three groups. The Black Aboriginal people who are already here, the Black Africans, the few who came on the slave boat who actually came to the United States of America, because most of our African brothers and sisters went down to the Caribbean. They went down to South America. That's not me making up shit. That's just facts, okay? Majority of people, roughly only about, I want to say it was about 8% came to North America. Then you had roughly another that came from the Caribbean to the Americas, about another 4%. Very small number. But it was Aboriginal people and those few Africans who mixed together, okay? Not to mention the African explorers who have been coming here since the beginning, like Abukari II in the Mali Empire, okay? Like those Kemetic brothers who have been coming here for thousands of years, who were coming back and forth. The Moors were over here. That's why you see early documents, they start talking about the Moors. We're reclassifying the Moors as well. They were over here as well. Okay, we are all those people put into one. And I want all them checks. I want all those checks, family. So that's what it is at the end of the day, family. I know I've been on here too long, man. I said I was going to keep y'all on here 45 minutes. I know y'all ready to go. So I'm going to get off of here, family. Please, please, please. Click that like button, family. Like I said, I'm going to be going live on the YouTube. So if y'all want to continue to YouTube, man, I'm going to be going live on here. Make sure you click that like button and share and subscribe, man. I mean, get the knowledge out there, because, again, this is very important. We got to start documenting our history. We got to start gatekeeping our history. We got to start debunking the lies, not for white folks, not for old decrepit coons. We ain't doing it for them. We doing it for our babies who gonna come up after us. I'm doing this live so 20 years from now, our babies have a solid foundation to start off of. They don't have to reinvent the wheel again. That's what you're supposed to be doing it for, family. Okay? That's why you go get Man Out of Asia. That's why you go get my books, 19 White Men Who Admitted There Were Indigenous Black People in America. Okay? You go get the Voice of the Ancestor series. Okay, so the next generation can start off at a higher standpoint, okay? That's anything in life, okay? Anything in life. If you grew up in a one-parent, single mother household with 1 bedroom and 7 kids, it's your job to make sure your kids don't grow up that way. Your kids ain't supposed to grow up with you being a single mother with 7 kids and 1 bedroom. You ain't starting them at no further point, okay? You're supposed to come from that, and you're supposed to grow up with a 2-parent household. Your kid's supposed to have a 2-parent household with a bedroom for each of them. Then they supposed to take it to the next level. Then they have damn too many bedrooms in their house when they get older. They living in a mansion. That's how it's supposed to be. We got to leave a stepping stone for the babies to come behind us. You dig? But it's your brother Chase, man. Click that link down below in the description. Go get the Voice of the Ancestors book series. Make sure you follow the Instagram pages. It's Chase the God, Voice of the Ancestors, Foundational Black Americans 1526. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until next time, man, I appreciate y'all. Peace and Black Power. I'm out.